Imagine a world where there's no war, no poverty, and no pain, where every desire is satisfied instantly. Food, sex, entertainment, comfort. No resistance, no silence, no boredom, just pleasure. On demand. Sounds like paradise, right? Now imagine you're trapped in it, not by chains, but by your cravings, not by force, but by your own pleasure. That's the world Aldous Huxley warned us about. And it's not science fiction anymore. It's TikTok. It's fast food. It's Netflix. It's porn. It's now. We didn't become slaves through fear. We became addicted through comfort. And in that addiction, we lost something priceless. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear might change how you see your world forever. Let's not waste time. You really think you enjoy what you enjoy? Every time you reach for that phone, scrolling, tapping, staring at a screen like it's sacred scripture. You don't even think anymore. One more tab, one more video, one more bite, one more laugh that ain't real. You eat without hunger. You laugh without joy. You consume without purpose. So let me ask you, who's enjoying this? You? Or the system that trained you like a pet to salivate at the first scent of pleasure? Here's the truth, and it ain't soft. You were programmed not to feel pleasure, but to chase it, forever. And the worst part? You didn't even notice. We live in an age drowning in pleasure, but starving for satisfaction. Why? Because Aldous Huxley saw it coming, nearly a century ago. He didn't talk about chains, he talked about distractions. He said control wouldn't come through pain. It'd come through comfort, not by banning books, but by making you bored of them. Not by hiding truth, but burying it beneath oceans of nothingness. And now, look around. You're in his world, a world where every whim is fed instantly, a world where dopamine is currency, where satisfaction is just a hit. And the emptiness multiplies. They didn't weaponize fear. They weaponized pleasure. They turned your joy into a leash. You think you're free? Because you choose what to consume? Wrong. Every choice you're given is a trap. Every sound, every ping, every flash of color, engineered to keep you hooked. Welcome to the new dictatorship, where control doesn't come with a whip. It comes with a smile. They don't punish you. They entertain you. They don't silence you. They drown you in options, distractions, numbness. And as you scroll and swipe and snack your life away, everything real collapses. Because this is addiction, not to the pleasure, to the next dose of it. Food? It's not nourishment. It's sugar and fat dressed up as comfort. Social media? Not connection. Just sparks of artificial validation. Content? Not learning. Mental anesthesia. They sold us a fantasy. That pleasure is purpose. But what if pleasure is poison? Huxley warned us, the future wouldn't be ruled by tyrants. It would be ruled by distraction. And here's the part that hurts the most. Every cheap hit of pleasure you take, it kills your ability to feel the real thing. Kids can't sit with a book for 5 minutes, but they can melt into hours of 5-second junk. Videos, noise, distractions. Adults can't sit in silence anymore, but they sure as hell can flood every moment with meaningless noise. Not a beat of quiet, just scrolling, clicking, tapping, trying to drown the void. Relationships? They crumble, not because people changed, but because effort, the obsolete now. Why fight for something real when instant pleasure's just one swipe away. See, effortless pleasure, it destroys the will to fight for what actually matters. And here's the cruel twist. The things that bring the deepest joy in life, they cost. They take time, pain, discipline, sacrifice. But the problem ain't pleasure, it's how easily you're given it. Ask yourself, why's love disposable now? Because there's always another match, another option, endless faces, zero connection. Why don't people chase big dreams anymore? Because there's quicker ways to feel good enough. A like, a view, a comment. Why do you feel that emptiness, even after a whole day of indulging? Because fleeting pleasure can't fill a soul-sized hole. This is how pleasure becomes a weapon. It keeps you numb while your life rots beneath you. It keeps you busy while your passions wither. It keeps you chasing something that will never come. Pleasure isn't the curse, the price is. And here's the real question. How much longer are you willing to pay? But the trap, the biggest one, ain't the addiction. It's the illusion that you need it. They taught you happiness means constant enjoyment. But who taught you how to face boredom? Who trained you to sit with silence? Who showed you how to endure the void? Because life, real life, the kind that's worth living, it's not made of fireworks and applause. It's built on struggle, effort, grit. But they sold us another fantasy, that everything should be fun, exciting, pleasurable. And now, the moment something feels difficult, we panic. Studying gets dull, we quit. A relationship hits turbulence, we dump it. A goal doesn't give instant reward, we postpone indefinitely. Modern life conditioned you to flee discomfort, to think boredom means something's wrong, to fear the silence instead of learning from it. So what are we left with? A society allergic to frustration, a generation that needs noise to avoid hearing their own thoughts, a world where comfort is mistaken for happiness. And yet people are more miserable than ever. Because here's the paradox. The easier it is to get pleasure, the harder it is to feel joy. The brain, it wasn't designed for constant reward. When everything is pleasure, nothing is special. When everything's instant, nothing holds value. When everything's easy, life loses meaning. And still, here we are, upping the dose. The next video, the next message, the next fix to help you forget that you feel nothing. But here's the part that should shake you. They're not just stealing your happiness, they're robbing your mind. Because a brain addicted to pleasure can't question, can't doubt, can't rebel. And that's the checkmate in this game of control. Keep them entertained, so they never notice what's being taken. Do you remember when you could just sit and be? Do you remember when you could sit still, really sit still, and focus for hours without itching to check your phone? Do you remember what boredom felt like before it started triggering panic? Do you remember when your attention wasn't shattered into 1,000 blinking fragments? You don't, because they've programmed that part of you to disappear. Every app, every feed, every so-called entertainment platform. It's not there to serve you. It's there to hack your mind, to shatter your attention span, to teach you to obey every impulse and forget how to think. You're no longer acting, you're reacting, mindlessly, passively. Not a creator, just another product, another consumer. Because someone who can't focus, can't learn. Someone who can't sit with boredom, can't reflect. And someone who can't think, can't question. And that That is the goal. Control without force. Obedience without chains. You don't need an iron-fisted government when you've got a population too entertained to notice. You don't need to burn books when nobody wants to read. You don't need to build prisons when people walk willingly into gilded cages lined with cheap dopamine. Huxley called it, "The love of servitude will be our destiny." But not forced servitude. No, chosen servitude, wrapped in the illusion of freedom. And you want to know how they do it? Saturation. They told you freedom is choice, but gave you so many. You lost the power to choose. 1,000 shows, none fulfilling. 1,000 songs, none moving. 1,000 faces, and not one you can truly connect with. So you float, you drift, you scroll, not because you're free, but because you've been drugged with choice. And when everything's shallow, nothing can hold meaning. And that's the trap. The pleasure society doesn't make you strong, it makes you soft, because the more you're trained to chase ease, the less strength you've got to face pain. And pain is where growth begins. Discomfort is the forge. Effort is the price of greatness. There's no true love without sacrifice. No real success without struggle. No meaning without suffering. But they don't want that. They want consumers, not thinkers. Buyers, not builders. Because someone who can face difficulty becomes resilient. Someone who can resist cheap pleasure becomes dangerous. Someone who can delay gratification becomes free. And a free mind. That's the last thing they want. So here's your moment of truth. Are you still in control of your mind? Or have you become a slave to pleasure? The first step back isn't deleting an app, isn't locking your phone, isn't running from temptation. It's understanding that pleasure is not the villain. It's the relationship you've built with it. If you can control the urge, you can control your destiny. If you can resist the sugar hit, you can build something that lasts. If you can sit in the silence, you'll start to think. Because pleasure is not the enemy. The enemy is you, when you forget who's in charge. So let's return to the root of it all. Pleasure is not the enemy. The true enemy is the weakness it creates when you don't know how to wield it. So next time your fingers reach for another distraction, another scroll, another click, another dose of nothing, pause. Ask yourself, who is in control here? Because if it's not you, then it's someone else. And that, my friend, is not leisure. That is slavery. Now that you see it, now that the veil has lifted, the question is no longer if you'll fall into the trap again. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? And here's the part that should make your blood run cold. Just knowing the truth won't save you. Awareness isn't freedom. Understanding isn't mastery. Because your brain, it's already been conditioned. Your patience, already corroded. Your attention, fragmented like shattered glass. And if you don't act, you'll follow the herd right off the same digital cliff. That's the system's most elegant deception, making you believe that seeing the trap is the same as escaping it. It's not. Knowledge without action is just another kind of entertainment, another flicker, another flash, another way to feel smart, while remaining a slave. So tell me, will you walk away from this video and dive right back into the flood? Or will you do what few ever dare? Take control. I'm not asking you to become a monk. I'm not telling you to renounce all pleasure. What I'm asking you to build is a weapon more powerful than talent, luck, or genius. self-control, the sacred ability to say no, to stop, to step outside the loop. Before it becomes a cage you can never escape. Because if you don't learn to master pleasure, it will master you. And here's what no one else will tell you. The people who change the world, who rise above the noise, who build something lasting, they aren't the luckiest, or the smartest, or even the most gifted. They're the ones who learn to wait, to delay the hit, to resist the sugar, to do the hard thing when the easy thing screamed louder. They weren't born that way. They built it, one decision at a time, saying no when others said yes, doing what mattered when others chased what felt good. They mastered the ancient art of doing what must be done, not what feels good right now. So here's your challenge. The next time you feel the pull, that urge for quick pleasure, don't act. Stop. Feel it. Observe it. Don't run from it. Name it a chain, not a need, a trap, not a truth. And then, choose. Will you feed the habit, or will you reclaim your throne? Because each time you delay gratification, each moment you endure the discomfort, each decision to do the hard thing over the easy, you're forging something. You're retraining your brain. You're reclaiming your agency. You're no longer just another product. One day, you'll wake up and realize you don't need the noise anymore. You don't crave the sugar. You don't seek the validation. Because you've taken back the reins. You belong to yourself. And in that moment, the system loses. The machine breaks. Pleasure stops being your master and becomes what it was always meant to be. A reward, not a prison. So tell me, will you keep chasing the next hit? Or will you do what most never will? Take control. If you're ready, if you're done being ruled, leave a mark, write it, say it. I take control. Because the moment you say it out loud, the moment you declare it to the world, you've already taken the first step. And if this message stirred something in you, if it unsettled you, good. Because I will never offer you comfort. I will offer you reality. And reality, even when it hurts, is the only path to freedom.